From where you're coming from when you used to work in financial markets, and for our viewers who might not know that for a fact, that one of the areas that was your playground was the cedi and all those things. Now, we've had a lot of pontification outside and all those things. From the Bank of Ghana's perspective, what is accounting for the cedi's stability and the sudden good run, you know, that we've seen, the sharp appreciation? Some have said that, oh, because of the dollar doing well and all that. From you work with the numbers, and you speak to numbers and you speak to data. What is the Bank of Ghana's perspective, as in what is driving this good run?
First of all, let me say that the cedi, as you know, has had this good run. And of course, for a person like you, this shouldn't come as a surprise. I'm sure we had, intermittently discussed this much earlier.
Yeah.
And then I told you that the central bank was actually in a very good position to be able to ward off any pressure.
I did doubt you. I remember in that conversation that I raised my concerns.
Right, and I'm sure you have seen what is happening today. And so it shouldn't come to you as a surprise now. Whatever we say, I think you should consider it seriously. Now, year to date, we've had the cedi appreciating by over 12%, specifically 12.2% appreciation from the beginning of the year to now. Now, the same time last year, we had depreciated by about 13%. So this is a complete reversal of what the situation was, last year. Indeed, this is maybe unprecedented, you can put it, because if you look at the data from when we started, the floating rate regime up to now, the flexible exchange rate regime up to now, this is the only time within the first 4 or even, 5 months that we have had this level of, strength in the Ghana cedi. And well, you will say the drivers are broad-based.
Yeah.
And rightly so, as has been mentioned in many circles. You have the domestic factors playing a role. You also have some part of it coming from the external, environment. Now, but as I will just conclude now, you will see that the domestic factors really have, more weight in this case, in this performance than the external factors. And so it just simply reflects the careful mix of policies that are being implemented. First, we can talk of the monetary policy stance.
Yeah.
I'm sure when we raised the policy rate, a lot of people, including Guta, came after us. They had all kinds of comments.
And even analysts as well, they were not happy about that stuff.
They were not happy, but we knew exactly what we were doing. And it's the fruits you are beginning to see. So we lifted or tightened monetary policy for one reason, to make sure we re-engineer the disinflation process. How did we do this, or how do we expect this to happen? First, that was supposed to help us increase or support our liquidity management, operations. I'm talking about sterilization of cedi liquidity now. And if you look at the data, you would have seen that we've been very, very strong on liquidity sterilization, cedi liquidity sterilization in the system. And so this is really, really helping. And we are doing this through our open market operations. So this is really helping a lot to take out cedis from the system. And that is actually linked to the policy decision that was made. This is even being supported by the earlier decision on the cash reserve ratios, which has already sterilized some cedi liquidity in the system. And so if you add that to the part that we are also having to do with the open market operations, that's quite a lot. So on the policy side, this is what it is. So that was a careful policy decision. But again, you can talk of the fact that we have also had robust FX inflows. And that is really contributing to an accelerated pace of accumulation of international reserves, buffers. So if you look at it, just to start with, if you look at it relative to, that is the first target under the IMF program.
Yeah.
So this is a very serious target that we really have to.
I'll be coming